Brian Johnston is the Western Director of the National Right to Life Committee. He has served in many capacities while advocating for innocent lives, as California Commissioner on Aging, as Chairman of the California Pro-Life Council, on the board of the National Legal Center for the Medically Dependent and Disabled. He is an author and lecturer, a film producer, and commentator. This is Life Matters. And now here's our host, Brian Johnston.
Welcome to Life Matters. I'm your host, Brian Johnston. On Life Matters, we examine life, culture, and the battle of ideas that swirls all around us. And if you don't think there's a battle going on, then you are really going to get hurt, because it's more than just a metaphor. Lives are at stake daily, and lives are truly lost, lives that need not have been. So this battle of ideas needs some real attention on every front. We'll talk about that more in a minute. First, I need to tell you a little bit about myself. My folks came here from Ireland, and I was their first child born on this side of the pond. I still have relatives and family in Ireland and all over the world, and that immigrant experience has given me a deep appreciation of what the United States really is. It's a nation built on ideas, with a very specific commitment to those ideas, and the first and foremost of them is the idea of the uniqueness of every human life, and that God, not the government, grants each life their value and their right to exist. Currently, I direct the Western Office of the National Right to Life Committee, and in that capacity, I work in assisting the Western states affiliates of the National Right to Life Committee in seeking to impact their respective states. Of course, the single greatest state of need in the West is in California. And I've served on the board of the California Pro-Life Council since the early 1980s. I've also served as Commissioner on Aging for California, and on the state's board of nursing home examiners, on the board of the National Legal Center for the Medically Dependent and Disabled. I've written a couple of books along the way, highlighting the need to have legal protection for these very important members of our society, the elderly, the infirm, the medically dependent, but more on that in another episode. Why this program? I'm asked to speak frequently, and sometimes people have stopped me and afterwards said, "What you said just never occurred to me." And now I realize that many of the thoughts and convictions that I have are actually based in emotions, and yet you gave me some very good reasons. And you know what? That's not uncommon here in the U.S. and around the world. Many people, many of us, base our convictions not on reason, but on emotions. So one of our purposes is to give you reasons for the very important convictions you may have. If you don't yet have those convictions, then you need to keep listening to Life Matters. We're going to base them on facts. And that leads me to this exciting opportunity where I can help you as a listener make sense of some of the ethical and life-impacting issues in this very real battle, in this very ever-changing world that we're living in. The right to life is, as our forefathers spelled out in America's founding documents, it's based in objective, self-evident reality. It is a definitive declaration based on observable facts. The right to life is not based in my opinion or my emotions. It is based in self-evident truths. It is those truths that we'll be fighting for on this show. And that's what Life Matters is about, and a lot more. Life and culture and the battle of ideas. We'll be answering your questions and helping you to find understanding and some resolve in making these difficult decisions about the issues of life. We're going to give you the resources you need to back up your convictions about matters like abortion, euthanasia, cloning, stem cell research, healthcare rationing. But at the center of it all is the right to life. This debate is not simply on the radio or in the newspapers. It's coming into your home. You need to be prepared. Every life is valuable, and that includes you. Ultimately, this is a program that's for and about you. We have so many things planned in this, and you're going to enjoy them. We'll be talking about the many important issues based in the right to life and its direct impact on you, your family, and your community. But we also want to strengthen and encourage you in the life you are leading. You've been given the gift of life, and as you know, this is a spiritual battle. The battle of ideas, it's about spiritual things. That's what an idea is. We'll be bringing you advice, tips, and suggestions to help you better understand how to address the cultural challenges that are pressing hard on all of us. We'll also bring you weekly news on the issue of life. We'll share interviews with fascinating folks in today's culture, experts in their field, in the legal field, medical, scientific, along with some Hollywood folks, actors, directors, authors, and a lot more. One of the segments we'll have regularly is a segment called Wordsworth. I've chosen Wordsworth because as a poet, in some ways his name is a pun, because a poet gets full, deep meaning out of a very few words. And it's important to dig in and understand words. So we're going to take a little bit to examine the words that are used, the semantic phrases in detail. Most importantly, we plan to bring you into the show, inviting you to call in with your questions on the issues of life. Just call 800-924-2490 and leave a message for use in a later show. If you're interested in staying anonymous, use the contact page on our website, lifematters.life, to send us an email or surprise us. Life Matters is really about you, because your life matters. Your life can make a difference, and we want to help equip you to do that. We want your feedback, so let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you. Use any of the methods, and one way or another, we'll get back to you. This is a weekly show, and we're on the radio in a lot of places. Typically, we're broadcast every Saturday at 1 p.m. But if you're not hearing us on the radio and you'd like to, go to the radio page of lifematters.life to find out where we may be broadcasting near you. And if you'd like to add Life Matters or the Life Matters Minute to your local radio network, go to lifematters.life for more information. This podcast is very important to us, and we want to make sure that you get the most out of it. We're going to have a lot more on the podcast than we will have on the radio because of the cost of airtime, etc. Some of the bonus content will be a lot of information in our show notes. We'll refer to any books, films, special guests where you can find out more information from them. And I think you'll enjoy that. Our show notes are going to be very comprehensive. Make sure that you do listen and subscribe to the podcast. It's extremely useful in a way of getting important information and detailed information. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian Johnston, telling you that your life matters more than you can imagine. I'll explain why in our next episode, so don't miss it. Until then, just remember that life is worth the effort.
To subscribe to the Life Matters podcast, go to lifematters.life, where you'll find out a lot more about life, culture, and the battle of ideas. Learn more about everything in today's show online at lifematters.life, where you'll find all the resources you need to protect life.